Help when your hope makes you anxious. Anxiety is a common mental health condition that can affect anyone at any stage in their life. It's characterized by worry, fear, and unease, and can be incredibly debilitating. But there are ways to fight against anxiety and live a fulfilling life, thanks to the help of hope. Hope can be a powerful tool against anxiety because it provides a sense of optimism and confidence in difficult times. It reminds you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, even when everything feels like it's going wrong. Hope can also help to motivate you to take action and fight against your anxiety. If hope is making you anxious, try to find other ways to support yourself, like talking to friends or family, doing exercise, or reading positive stories. By relying on yourself and your own resources, you'll be better equipped to face down any anxiety attacks and live a fulfilling life. When hope becomes anxiety. When hope becomes anxiety, there are a few things that you can do to help ease the pain. First, be sure to keep track of your expectations. Don't let yourself get caught up in the excitement of the possibilities. Instead, focus on what you know for sure. Second, relax your mind and body. If you find that your hope is causing too much stress, take some time for yourself to relax and enjoy some quiet moments. Finally, reach out to friends or family members who you know can offer support. They may be able to share their own experiences or offer advice on how to deal with anxiety in general. If you find that hope is becoming an issue for you, talk to God about it. He is always there to help us find hope and peace in difficult times. God has promised to never leave us nor forsake us. When hope is at the forefront of your anxiety, it can be difficult to know how to cope. It can feel like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of hope and anxiety. But there's help available. Here are 4 ways to work with hope when it's fueling your anxiety. 1. Talk to a therapist or counselor. Talking about your feelings and struggles with another person can be very helpful in managing anxiety. They can help you understand where you're coming from and provide tools for coping. 2. Write down your hopes and worries. Putting your thoughts and fears into writing can help you better understand why you're anxious and what you can do to address the issue. This can also be a helpful way to stay organized and begin to see progress in your anxiety disorder. 3. Engage in positive self-talk. It's important to have realistic expectations when it comes to managing anxiety. However, it's also important to have hopeful thoughts about the future. Remind yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, even if the anxiety feels overwhelming at times. 4. Take breaks from worryful thoughts. When you find yourself stuck in a loop of anxious thoughts, take a few minutes to relax. This may mean taking a bath, reading a book, or listening to music. It's important to find ways to calm yourself down so that you can return to your worries with a fresh perspective. No matter how you choose to cope with hope, it's important to remember that you are not alone. There are many resources available to help you manage your anxiety and get on the path to recovery. Hope is a powerful emotion. When hope is present, it can be a powerful emotion that can motivate people to do things and make positive changes in their lives. However, when hope becomes too much for someone to handle, it can lead to anxiety. Here are some tips on how to manage hope when it becomes too much. 1. Recognize that hope is an emotion and not a fact. Just because something is hoped for doesn't mean it will happen. It's important to remember that even though you hope for something, there is still a chance that it won't happen. 2. Talk to a friend or family member about how you're feeling. Sharing your feelings with someone who will understand and care can help you manage hope in a healthy way. 3. Keep a positive outlook on life. Even though things might not be going the way you want them to, try not to dwell on the negative. Instead, focus on the positive aspects of your life and look for opportunities to take advantage of them. 4. Accept that things might not go the way you want them to. Life is unpredictable, and there's always a chance that something out of your control will happen that will change the course of things. When this happens, don't get too stressed out or upset. Just accept the situation for what it is and move forward from there. 5. Exercise. Exercising can help to release endorphins, which are chemicals that can help to reduce the symptoms of anxiety. 6. Take a break. Sometimes all you need is a little time to yourself to relax and clear your head. Taking some time away from everything will help you to regain perspective and manage hope in a healthy way. 7. Seek professional help. If managing hope becomes too difficult for you, it may be helpful to seek professional help. A therapist or counselor can help you to understand your emotions and find strategies to manage them in a healthy way. Hope can be a motivator. When hope is our driving force, it can be a motivator to keep going in the face of obstacles. However, when hope becomes our only motivation, it can lead to anxiety. Make realistic goals. When we set too high of standards for ourselves, we become disillusioned when we fail to meet them. Instead, make goals that are achievable but challenging enough to spur you on. Let go of negative thoughts and images. Dwelling on negative thoughts will only make your anxiety worse. Instead, focus on positive self-talk that promotes optimism and resilience. Hope can be a healer. When hope is our anchor, it can help us weather difficult times. However, when hope becomes our undoing, it can become anxiety-causing and even destructive. Here are 4 tips to help manage hope when it becomes a problem. 1. Recognize that hope can be a powerful motivator, but it should not be our only source of energy. It's important to balance happiness with realism so that we don't overstretch ourselves. 2. Avoid comparing ourselves to others or basing our expectations on what we think others will do for us. We need to believe in ourselves and find satisfaction from within rather than from what we think other people will bring into our lives. 3. Take care not to dwell on the negative or catastrophize events that could happen in the future. Instead, focus on taking action today towards goals we have set for ourselves. 4. Talk openly with loved ones, therapists, or counselors about how hope is affecting us and what we can do to manage it effectively. Together, we can create a support network that will be there for us when we need it most. When people have hope for the future, it can be a source of great joy. However, when hope becomes too dominant in someone's life and they become anxious about the future, it can be a problem. Hope is an essential part of human nature, but when it becomes so strong that it drives anxiety, it can be a sign of trouble. Causes of hope anxiety vary from person to person, but some common reasons include having unrealistic expectations about the future, believing that one's problems are minor or temporary, being overly optimistic about one's own abilities or prospects, expecting others to meet one's expectations, not being able to cope with disappointment or failure, feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. If you're finding that your hope for the future is causing you significant anxiety, there are some steps you can take to address the issue. First, try to focus on realistic expectations. It's important to remember that life is never going to be easy, and there will be times when things don't go as planned. Accepting this reality will help reduce stress and anxiety related to expectation management. Next, try to develop a positive outlook on life. Although difficulties will occur from time to time, focusing on the good things in life can help reduce anxiety. Finally, try to develop a support system. Having people around you who care about you and understand your struggles can be a tremendous source of comfort. How to find hope when it's difficult to find. Finding hope can be difficult when we're feeling anxious, but there are some tips for locating hope when it feels like everything is going wrong. First, understand that hope is a feeling, not a fact. Hope is something that we create in our minds, and it can fluctuate depending on our current situation. Don't get attached to one particular hope, but instead allow yourself to experiment with different hopes as you go through your day. Second, look for hope in the simplest things. When we're feeling anxious, it can be hard to see the beauty in life, but there are plenty of simple things that offer hope and happiness. Taking a walk outdoors, spending time with friends and family, reading a book or listening to music. Add these moments into your daily schedule to help offset the negative feelings that arise from anxiety. Third, talk to others about how they find hope. Oftentimes, people find comfort in talking about how they're feeling. If you need someone to talk to about your struggles with anxiety, reach out to your friends and family. Don't forget to pray to God. When we are faced with difficult challenges, it is natural to feel hope and optimism. However, if our hope becomes unrealistic or overwhelming, it can lead to anxiety and stress. Here are some tips for maintaining a healthy dose of hope. 1. Remember that hope is a gift from God. It is not something we create ourselves, and it should never be taken for granted. 2. Stay humble. When we become too confident or arrogant, our hope can quickly turn into expectations that are impossible to meet. 3. Commit to taking action. Hope is based on faith in the future, so keeping our expectations realistic means committing ourselves to doing something about the situation. 4. Pray regularly. Prayer connects us with God and helps us tap into His strength and guidance during difficult times. 5. Remind yourself that there is always somebody who has faced a similar challenge before you and who can help guide you through it. Hope is a powerful emotion, and when it's paired with anxiety, it can be a destructive force. We all want things to turn out the way we want them to, but oftentimes that's unrealistic and can lead to feelings of disappointment and frustration. When hope becomes our reality check instead of our guidepost, it can lead us down a dark path of self-doubt and anxiety. Fortunately, there are ways to combat this cycle and find hope again. By learning about the different types of hope and how they work, we can start to identify when hope is fueling our anxieties rather than calming them down. And by practicing the tips in this video, we can develop tools that help us stay in touch with reality without succumbing to our anxious thoughts. Stay blessed.